Well, I just wanted to comment on Mr. Thomopoulos' point, which I think is very concerning to see the cost of regulation, going up and up. But the future of banking in Europe, should be considered separately when you talk about distribution and underwriting. The cost of regulation and underwriting risk, I think will not go down because we have seen, the cost of low regulation in the past few years. So regulation will remain, I think, strong in Europe, in the Eurozone at least, for systemic banks, for underwriters. And there is definitely here scope for consolidation and integration of underwriters or institutions who are willing to take underwriting risk. There is also a new challenge, is how you distribute products going forward in the banking sector in Europe. And here we will see a significant disintermediation of distribution of banking products and services. And you refer to digitalization. We believe that many new players will emerge and will be in a position to better sell banking services than current banks. So the landscape is likely to change tremendously. The cost of regulation will apply differently whether you are in distribution or risk underwriting. Just to comment on Greek banks and as a representative of the Financial Stability Fund in Greece. The Financial Stability Fund has, over the past 7 years, helped the regulator, the government, the institutions in the consolidation and recapitalization of Greek banks. Mr. Probopoulos, you rightly say that over the past 7 years, the number of banks has gone down from 25 to today 4 systemic banks. This is, in no other country, we have a similar level of integration of the banking sector under systemic ownership. And this has been possible because the Financial Stability Fund has provided 43 billion euros to support the recapitalization of the Greek banking sector and the resolution of non-viable entities. The question is, are we now in Greece in a stable environment? And do we have a stable banking sector? And what should we consider going forward in this particular market to make sure that there is a decent supply of funding and banking services to support recovery and economic growth? And today we know that the banking sector does not support economic recovery because it is not stable enough. It is not stable enough in the sense it is well capitalized. Yes, and financial assistance has been provided for that, but it needs to tackle, the big problems that you were referring to, Mr. Elwing, which is non-performing loans, and we believe that there is now no time left for Greek banks to tackle this problem very seriously. We are talking about deregulation in the US and the risk that the US is representing in terms of competition for the Eurozone. I believe that Greek banks are far from being in a position to compete with US banks simply because they have not yet solved their immediate problem around non-performing loans. The range of tools available to solve the problem is there. We just want to see banks executing now, and this will be observed over the next 2-3 years whether Greek banks are able to solve their non-performing loan problem. Selling assets is part of the range of solutions that are available for Greek banks, and they should not underestimate the benefits of selling assets would bring to their own operation. And there are currently in the Greek market new players coming in with the right competencies and funding to support Greek banks, but they need also, to see a willingness of the existing 4 banks to sell and move on to new challenges, support economic growth, and digitalization. Resolution of NPLs will have to be supported by more than the 4 Greek banks. And there are, currently opportunities for them to move forward in this respect, and we hope to see positive development. I would say that stability is not there yet, also because corporate governance needs to be strengthened, and Greek banks have to continue, the work they started last year in addressing challenges in corporate governance, and this is it's positive to see that they are on track, to strengthen their practices. We also think that ELA reduction and moving away from the ELA dependency is critical, simply because today relying on ELA means that they are not profitable. Banks who are too heavily relying on this expensive source of funding cannot generate profitable business. So it's very important that they consider seriously how to reduce their dependency on the ELA and return to market for returning to profitability. A strong banking sector is required to support economic growth, and that's the path I think they have to follow.